Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So yes, I have the iPad mini 6 in purple in front of me. Seems like I'm inundated with Apple products at the moment. I've just done the unboxing and first impressions video of the gorgeous iPhone 13 Pro Max in Sierra blue color on my channel. If you haven't already checked it, I will link it down below. Please go and check that out. In today's video, let's unbox the iPad mini 6 and check out all those cool and quirky features like the button placement on the top, Apple Pencil Gen 2 support, landscape stereo audio only, one-hand usability, amongst other things. So let's get on with the video. So let's unbox this thing, but first I can't stop to adore how cute the box looks. Here it is in comparison with the iPad Air Force box. So let's quickly unbox it. Wow, look at that purple shade. That's a colorful manual there. We have Apple stickers. No color here again, it's just white. Then we have the 20-watt USB Type-C fast charger, one of the best designs I've seen for the UK's ugly, huge 3-prong charging socket format. Then the USB Type-C cable, not braided as usual. Let's move all this over to a side and look at the iPad. I cannot help but simply adore this iPad. It's like a mini version of the iPad Air 4, and that too a cuter mini version. Then that purple shade. I was expecting this to be very light like the blue from the iPad Air, but I'm glad that it is a bit more saturated and you can know for sure that it is purple. Here's this shade comparison for you to check, although I did struggle to find purple items lying around in my home. My daughter helped a bit, obviously. So let's look around. We have the speaker grills at the bottom along with USB Type-C port. That's awesome. Wish the iPhone Pros did this as well. On the side, you have the Apple Pencil magnetic connector. Then on the top is where we have a bigger change. The volume buttons are on the top along with a few more speaker grills and Touch ID power button. This is how the power button compares to iPad Air Force. At the back, you have a camera bump for the first time ever on a mini. It has the same 12 million pixels wide camera as the Air 4, but it also has that quad LED True Tone flash. And yes, the new all-screen design means magnets. I have this cool magnet detection paper so you can see where these magnets are located. Let me quickly set this mini up. And it is all up and running the latest iPadOS 15. Right away, the apps are not extending towards the edges and it is making everything look even smaller. Not sure why Apple went for this. Maybe it has something to do with the widgets and the orientation, but it sure does make the entire screen real estate look smaller. So we have the all-screen design here with bezels, which definitely seem thicker at first, but taking the mini for a spin for a few minutes, you'll be glad that they are that thick, as it gives you a much better place to rest your fingers without touching the screen. So wow, an iPad which you can hold it in one hand. And the weight. I didn't mention it during unboxing as I really want to single this out. An iPad this powerful and light shouldn't be a real thing, but it is. It is as powerful as the iPad Air 4. We'll run Geek Bench in a minute, and the weight is almost equivalent to a novel. Actually, my hardback kick-ass novel is heavier than the iPad mini. This is really insane. You can use this for hours in your hand and not feel hand fatigue at all. And once you get adjusted to the weight and the form factor, it will make you feel that your iPad Air 4 and the iPad Pros are tanks in comparison. The Mini is really a bad influence on your iPad perception. Especially if you're like me, the Mini is not the ideal size for my iPad needs. That's why I never owned one. Maybe this new redesign will change that. Detailed review is coming soon, guys, where I'll cover how it feels switching from a bigger screen iPad to the Mini for the first time ever. So, all the more reason for you to join Team RaavMedia, smash that subscribe button and be a part of all that. Next, let's look at the power under the hood. It has 4 gigs RAM, same as the RAM in the iPad Air 4, and here are the Geekbench scores of both the Mini 6 and the iPad Air side by side. So it's really a bit more powerful than the iPad Air 4, which is 40% heavier. Sorry guys, I simply cannot get over how light this is. Now Apple Pencil Gen 2 support. Same as the iPad Air 4 and the iPad Pros, it attaches magnetically to the side and pairs and charges at the same time. Now it takes up the entire side of the iPad, leaving no room for the volume buttons. You really can't put the volume buttons on this side as this is where it connects to most of the cases, and the bottom will be weird, so the only other option is at the top. It does feel a little strange if you're using the iPad in the portrait mode and if you want to use the volume keys, but in landscape mode, which is probably the orientation in which you will access the volume keys more, it feels fine. But the cool thing is that these volume buttons readjust to the orientation in which you are using the iPad. So when you hold it upside down, the volume up and down functions are interchanged, so it gives you that consistency. Amazing how Apple thinks of everything. They really do have a strong user interface team. The Apple Pencil works smoothly, and this entire setup is a boon for someone who values portability over anything else. And even for students, moving from lecture to lecture, between halls, cafeteria, etc., this Mini 6 with the Apple Pencil Gen 2 will feel the most comfortable amongst the entire iPad lineup. Next, let's move on to the speakers. They are loud enough, but Apple does list stereo audio in landscape mode only. What does that mean? Let's find out. So, it's in landscape, nice and stereo sound. You can certainly hear that stereo effect. Let's switch it to portrait. You can certainly notice the volume has gone down a bit and the stereo effect is not there. Volume definitely is coming from the top as well, but it's not stereo. I don't know why they did that. It's probably due to some orientation issues. If you have any idea, do comment down and let me know. Next, the cameras. The back one is almost the same as iPad Air 4, but it's got that quad LED flash. So here are a sample pictures taken using it. Full 4K video recording is also supported up to 60 frames per second. And here's how the video looks. Actually, having a better iPad Pro kind of a camera setup would have been much better on the Mini 6, as it is really comfortable to hold the iPad in one hand and snap a picture with the other. So it could have certainly benefited with such a camera system. Maybe we'll get a more expensive iPad Pro Mini in future. The front camera is better than the iPad Air 4s at 12 million pixels with center stage support. So the camera pans and moves along with you, and it readjusts if someone else joins. The price of the Mini starts at $479 or $499. You get 5G versions as well if you want, and yes, the base storage is still 64 gigabytes. You need to pay $150 or £150 more in the UK for the only other storage option, which is 256 gigs. Now let's look at the usage. Websites certainly feel small, but one-handed use is very much possible, and due to its less weight, you can comfortably hold it for hours, and especially with gaming, it really helps. And then there is no doubt the Pro apps do feel a bit cramped, but I'll test more on this, so all that is coming your way, guys. Again, please subscribe and stay tuned and support my channel so I can continue making these videos. Then the power button Touch ID, it definitely feels very right for a device this small, and it worked perfectly every time I tried. The screen is nice as well, with 326 ppi, which despite having similar resolution as the bigger iPad Air 4, everything looks a bit sharper due to the smaller screen size. So that's the first impression and unboxing done. There's a lot more useful content coming your way, guys, along with some amazing cases and accessories and giveaways. So please subscribe, support my channel, as it is only your support that can keep it going. So that's all for the video. As always, thanks a lot for staying with me until the end. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.